Hello, hello, Stephanie Zima here with Walk It Free Mentorship, where we heal, connect, and level up. Okay, if you're an online entrepreneur, you're anyone who's building a business online, you want to tune in to me. Whether or not you're doing this on the live video version here or you're doing this with my podcast, one way or another, you want to pay attention because I will help you to get off this emotional roller coaster that you're on onto a solid foundation from where you can actually build a business that you are looking to do. Whether or not you want to make $500 a month or $1,000 a month, or you want to make $10,000 a month or beyond, everything starts with having a solid foundation that you can work and apply the systems, the strategies, all the things that you're learning on, right? All of this stuff you are needing to build on a solid foundation, because if you are like flimsy, if you are not doing the things every single day that you should be doing, the sales techniques every single day, if you reach out to prospecting, your branding, your posting, all these things, if you don't do it on a daily basis, chances are you are not having any success. Okay, so having said that, here we go. We're gonna go start right now with talking about if motivation, because that's what many of you are dealing with. And, as we're going into 2026, of course, we are having a ton of motivation because it's a new year and yada, yada, yada. But you all know that in 2 weeks, you're falling off the wagon, right? In 2 weeks, latest, if not earlier, you are going to fall off the wagon and motivation is going to be gone. And you don't know how and why that is. And I'm going to tell you today why that is, okay? So if motivation worked on willpower alone, exhausted women would never struggle, but they do. And here's why. Motivation is not a discipline problem. Motivation is a response, not a character trait, okay? A response to what exactly? When we feel motivated, it's because we are trying to fill a need of some sort. Okay? It's the basic needs that are coming before the ambition. So if your basic need is to survive, you will do everything. You'll be always motivated. Nobody will have to motivate you to eat, for example, right? Nobody has to motivate you to drink, or to sleep, right? So I have to adjust my seat here. No one has to motivate you to do these things. You are doing these things naturally without anyone else. And that is because it's a basic need. To sleep, to eat, to drink, it's a basic need. Air, water, shelter, all these things is a basic need, right? You know that you need to get those things, and therefore no one ever will need to motivate you to make that happen. Survival modes override long-term goals. If you are in survival mode, you will make it happen. That's why the hungry people are usually the ones that are winning, okay? And many of us are actually not hungry enough. We don't use our business as a survival mode. In survival mode. That's why we are looking for somebody else to do something for us. Okay, we are looking for mentors to help us. We are looking for people to carry us, our uplines. We looking for them to carry us through this. We are looking for our boss to tell us what to do, right? But I tell you, I promise you that if you're about to lose your job, you probably will come up with ideas, right? If your upline is non-existent and you have zero money in the bank and you need to pay a bill or you need to put food on the table, you're probably figuring out how to get that information and make that happen. But because we are cushy, we either rely on our credit cards to pay and substitute the money we are looking for. Oh, we have other ways, even though we are saying we don't have any money, but somehow we've all gotten so accustomed to debt until the debt is so much that they're gonna cut you off. and now you're getting hungry, right? Now you're starting to do this. Or if you don't have any credit cards and you are not able to put something on there and you need to feed yourself, now it becomes a need, okay? So those are the things. This is you have to really internalize this. You have to understand that if motivation would be a discipline problem, it would be able to be fixed, but it's not, okay? So, what exactly is the problem here? It's the mental load and the depletion that actually steals your motivation. Constant responsibility drains your capacity, and overwhelm shuts down your creativity. When you are feeling super overwhelmed with all the stuff that you're happening all over the place that's going on, that is what the real problem is. It's not that you don't have enough motivation. It's not that you don't have anybody on your side. It's the fact that your mental load is draining you. Okay, you're constantly having responsibility, you're constantly having things to do, and overwhelm just shuts you completely off. So instead of being able to think of your brand and fun things to do, fun challenges to motivate, or systems to create, or having, contests that maybe get your people new engaged, you're just shutting down. Um, And when you force the action because you know somehow you must, right? If you feel blame and responsibility and you want to try, if you force yourself, then you are just deepening your burnout. That's what it is. If you don't heal it, if you don't get to the bottom of it, okay? Relief has to come first before you dive deep into your business and make it all happen, right? This year, 2026, we are, 2 weeks away from quitting everything again. If you haven't done anything to help your mental load, if you haven't done anything to fix your environment, if you haven't done anything to stop toxic relationships that drain you, if you haven't taken care of figuring out how to get more sleep, how to, um, have proper nutrition, how to um, pay your bills, right? Or what that will look like. If you haven't figured out your basic physiological and safety needs, chances are you're continuing to be exhausted. You're continuing to burn out, and you will not build your business. So if you want to change that in 2026, I need you to hear me, because I've lived this. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and it is so, so true. Healing has to come first. Support restores the energy and your clarity. So what does it mean? Support of someone that can put the puzzle pieces together, like the Freedom Mentor, right? The Freedom Mentorship. That's what we do in Walking It Free. We are taking all these different puzzle pieces that life has to offer, and then I help putting them in order. I'm helping to not just see the whole big overwhelm part, but to say, you know what, we don't need to worry about social media strategies right now. We need to worry about fixing up our environment so we can actually take the first action, meaning showing up in the marketplace. Okay? See, you think about, how do I get new customers, and how do I get new followers, and how do I be omnipresent, and how do I do all these things? But can I tell you, please, that instead of doing all more strategies and adding on, you got to fix up your environment. You maybe got to make it that you can have a morning routine, that you can maybe have a moment to breathe, to think, who am I? What do I even want to do? How can I serve my clients? What makes me unique? Like, you have to have some downtime. You have to have time to think. You have to have time to figure this out. And if you don't, you are just literally going to burn yourself out, and you're not going to get that momentum, okay? You gotta make some time to restore that energy and find that clarity. Why am I here? What am I looking to do? See, I'm here to help the 80% to stop feeling so awful. Like, I see it all over the place. Okay, you all you all are having anxiety and depression, and you have needs, okay? You have credit card bills up to the yin yang. You want more travel, you want to have experience, you want to live life, but you can't because you're stuck. You're stuck in the bills, you're stuck in the drama, you're stuck in the in toxicity, you're stuck with relationships that you don't like. You have no way out, right? And that's what you call life. And you are in an online business likely to create extra money because you do have awareness that when you have extra money, you have options, right? I'm not saying you have to be rich. I'm just saying that, if you have extra money, you have options. You are going to be able to take care of yourself financially. You are going to be able to take care of your debt. You're going to be able to take care of, whatever, getting yourself some help in terms of having a cleaning lady or having somebody to cook for you or ordering out sometimes, right? You don't even need to have a cook. Sometimes it's just ordering out so you don't have to cook for yourself. Um, and you get a break in the kitchen. Sometimes maybe it's like you say, hey, I want to take my family for a 2 days ski trip, and it was amazing, but it was also pricey, not gonna lie. Going skiing in the Midwest is expensive. I don't know how it is out in Colorado or Utah, probably too. I mean, I'm looking at ski lift tickets over there. It's like, woo, you know. There are things we want to do in this world, but everything costs money, obviously. Good food, good nutrition costs a lot of money. So, here's the thing. I know you're doing your business because you want extra money to come in. Here's the truth to the matter. In order to get money in, you have to take action. If you don't take action, you're not going to get paid. That's it, okay? You guys, this is it. You know that. You know that if you don't take action, you don't get paid. And it doesn't matter who you blame. You can blame your upline and you can blame your boss and you can blame everybody and his mother. But it's not going to help you. What's going to help you is figure out why you're so mentally overwhelmed. You can tell me, oh, I'm a single mom and I have all these. I do too. Okay? But here's what I want to tell you. If you fix your physiological needs, basics, how much sleep do you get? How can we fix up your nutrition, right? Like, what do you eat? Maybe instead of picking all the processed food, maybe you put a couple times something fresh. I just had a friend over for my daughter and I offered her fresh broccoli. And I had to laugh because she did try it and she gagged. Like, I have never seen my kids gag on broccoli, but everybody is different, right? If you've never tried it, if you've never done it, it's like you just won't do it. So you have to sometimes try certain things and figure out what you might like and what you may not like. But be curious. And if you are like so overwhelmed with stuff, you can't even be curious of what you're gonna like. You cannot even be um, on the search. You're just gonna be stuck. And you don't want to be stuck, right? You don't want to be stuck. That's why you're listening to me. Okay, so where was I? Support restores energy and clarity. Yes, motivation naturally returns when the safety is returned. I need you to hear that. When your safety feels returned, now you get motivated. Okay? So you have to imagine it this way. So first, I also said that if you're hungry, you're gonna be motivated. So here's the thing. There's two levels to it. If you are not feeling safe, meaning you're overextended, your mental load is crazy, you are tired, you are exhausted, like everything is too much, you shut down, you burn out. You cannot be motivated because that will just kill you, literally, right there, right? That's obviously where you need to address it first. You need to figure out how can I make processes easier? How can I get an easy morning routine? How can I get an easy program to get some work in? What should I even need to do? What do I need to do? Do I even know what I need to do? Many of you don't know what to do. You don't know basic lead generation. You don't know how to do posting. You copy and pray and paste and then pray that somebody's going to reach out to you, and that is not going to happen. Guys, I've done this for 8 years. You can post every single day. Nobody is going to reach out to you. There's a lot of people that maybe say, yes, nice things, this, but people are not just saying, oh, hey, me. I need to buy that stuff. That is really rarely gonna happen to you. Sometimes you can maybe disagree with me and say, oh, this happened to me all the time. Well, let's see. What have you done naturally to build an audience? What have you done naturally that you may not be aware of that actually caused other people to be curious? Because that is what it is. If you are somebody that doesn't have a big following and doesn't have a lot of audience or influence over people, if you just post and pray, is not going to happen to you. I promise, I know that. So what do you need to do? You need to fix up yourself, meaning how can I feel safe? How can I have enough rest? How can I have good energy? How can I feel okay about what it is that I'm doing? And then you need to have the second tier, your safety needs, right? How can I feel safe as a salesperson? How can I feel safe? You have to reframe your mindset to actually be able to post, to show yourself online, to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. I'm going to put myself out there. Okay, because only when you put yourself out there, people are going to be aware of who you are and what you got to offer. So how can I do that when I don't feel safe? You can't. Okay? Love and belonging is the same thing. If you don't love yourself, if you don't love your mission, if you don't love your vision, what you're wanting to do, you're not going to show up. And guess what's going to happen if you don't show up? You don't show up, you don't make any sales, you don't make any money, boom. You're circling in the drain over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. Now you can try to have somebody motivate you as much as you want, but that's not going to happen. So how do I get hungry? Okay. I'm going to fix up my mess, right? That's step one that you need to do. And then secondly, how do I get hungry? Okay. That is where you need to, I don't know why I get balloons out of the sudden. They say hungry. But okay, that is, I take it, right? Any kind of celebration, I take it. So when you need to get hungry is when you start tapping into your self-actualization, into your purpose. When you start realizing, unless you have a super, super pressing need, like you need to pay your bills, you must do something without, like if you're running out of credit card limits, if you are not even having credit cards, if there's a big something coming up, then of course you need to do something, right? Now, secondly, that's how you get hungry is when you put a reason for it. And I just remembered, yeah, when you have a big hospital bill coming up, I just remember that I had to call the insurance company. So that is the thing. That's when you get hungry. That's when you get hungry to say, you know what, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. The hungry people are finding ways. The hungry people, they don't ask somebody to motivate them. The hungry people say, I must do this and I will find a way. And that is what I want you to be like. So if you don't have a pressing reason, how can you get hungry? By tapping into your purpose. What can you do? What fires you up? See, for me, it fires me up to be fighting for the underdog. And this is one of the things I've heard this now so many times within 2025 that everybody is going for the six-figure income earners. Everybody wants to coach those guys. Everybody wants to help them. Okay? Everybody wants to go for the 1 to 3% of people. Everybody like basically says the 80% of network marketers or the 80% of people of the workforce, those people are not doing anything. And maybe those people know something I don't, but right now it fires me up. Right now, I wanna help the 80%. Because I feel like you all have something to contribute in this world. I feel like you all have something to give. I feel like everybody should hear you. I feel like if you can be helped to help yourself, you all can make something happen in this world. Why should you be let off the hook? Because what, you're not valuable? Yes, you are. You're valuable. You are more valuable than many people know. And you know what? It hurt me so much because so many years I felt like nobody saw me. Nobody was there. Like every single time my mentors would say, oh, who's in your corner? Who believes in you? And every single time I got sad and I thought to myself, no one. No one. There was nobody. There was nobody that believed in me. There was nobody. Like I could not Think about anyone that was calling me to say, "Hey, Stephanie, how did you do on your goals today? How have you been doing? Have you had any goals that you need me to help you with?" Nobody, okay? Nobody cared. And that was my storyline. That was always the dominating thought. No one cared. So you know what? I had to grow into the person that cared. I taught myself how to be the person that cared for me. And that is what I want to teach you. I want to teach you to be the person that cares for you because you do matter and you do deserve to be heard and you do deserve to get to the bottom of the message God put in you. You do deserve to learn how to give that message out and how to live that life that he intended for you. That is who I am. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm here. Um, so anyway, long story short, motivation comes when you're hungry, right? When you fixed your foundation, when you fixed the fact that you are drowning in stuff, fix that. You gotta fix that, okay? That is what the mentorship is for, helping you to get rid of all this mess that you've got going on, learning how to live a life that you are going to be able to thrive from, build something from. Who needs to learn a social media strategy when your home is a mess? Who needs to learn a social media strategy on how to get millions of people subscribing to you when you don't even know how to keep up with like 10 conversations a week? Think about it. Okay, you don't need the other stuff. What you need is you need to learn how to live a life that you then can scale eventually. Okay, so motivation doesn't disappear randomly, just so you know. It fades when basic needs are ignored and mental load takes over. You got to take care of that mental load, and it will not only help your business, it will actually help your entire life. It will help your relationships, it will help your sanity every single day. Trust me, I know. I am healing. I have done all these things, and without it, I don't think I would have been able to get through the last couple of years of my life. If I would have not had my ducks in a row, I think my kids' cancer journey and the separation and everything that I've gone through in the recent couple years, I think it would have probably broken me. And it hasn't. I am thriving and I am on my way even up and higher and this and that. And 2026 is going to be a fantastic year. I can already feel it. I already know. So, yeah, if you want that for yourself, I tell you it's time to tune into what I have to teach because I taught myself and I've done it, and it's time to tune in to what I have to teach if you want that too, because it's worth it, okay? Anyway, check out the Freedom Mentorship somewhere here, or comment or DM me, either way, how you want to. Let's have a one-on-one coaching session, discovery session, if that is what you want, and you're not really quite sure how that Freedom Mentorship will fit in with you, or if that is something for you, DM me. Let's have a conversation. I'm here. All right? Take care.